Hi guys, good evening. I hope that everyone had a really good day. So today we'll be doing something a bit different than what we have done before. So before in this series what we have done is pretty much look at two different counters and we have just analyzed them. So regardless of whether the counter has already been overextended or whether it's yet to move or anything else, we have just solely looked at certain counters that people have requested. So today what we're going to do is something a bit different. We are going to look at three counters which I believe has good strong medium term potential to possibly go 50 to 100% in price over the next few months. So the three stocks that we'll be looking at is AHUN, which is a part of Aitken Spence. This one over here, it's a part of the hotel sector, and then we'll be looking at Spence itself, SPEN, and then finally VPEL or VPEL. So those are the three counters that we'll be looking at. So like I said, it's going to be a bit different, so pay attention. Most importantly, make sure to watch the whole video because this would be very useful for you over the medium term. So let's get into it. So let's start off with SPEN. So SPEN, I've already done a video on this before as well. One of my very first videos was on SPEN. So if you haven't watched it yet, make sure to go and watch it. Let me check the chart. Okay, so here it is. So usually what we're going to look at is pretty much long-term consolidation phases. So if you have been following me on Twitter, I have always mentioned about long-term bases. Now what we have here is pretty much a long-term rounded base on the monthly chart. So these are the sort of patterns that I like to trade, because what happens is usually when prices break out of a longer term consolidation phase, what you see is a very strong move over the short term. So if prices have been basing for, let's say, 5 to 10 years, you can possibly expect a huge move in the short term, because what happens is when prices are consolidating for a very long time, what eventually happens is there's a huge burst in volume, and then that creates extra demand, and that creates an impulsive move over the very short term. So this is what we're going to do. So we're going to look at these three counters and we are going to exactly see what sort of potential it has over the medium term. So as of now, you can see that overall we have been in a overall decline on Spence all the way from its top in 2010. End of 2010, pretty much prices have gone down from roughly around 230, and it bottomed out in at around 24 rupees, which was the COVID-19 lows. So since then we have had a nice uptrend from roughly around 24 all the way towards around 90. So prices have somewhat recovered, but there is still room for further growth in prices. So if you look at the chart over here, you can clearly see that prices are at a very important resistance level. So you can see that this range right here between roughly around 94 all the way towards around 96 is a very key resistance level. Now you can add 100 rupees to it as well. Even though we don't have an exact resistance level at 100, it can be a very strong psychological level, because prices never reached 100. The last time it did get there was roughly around 7 years ago. So that itself will be a very psychological level. So in that sense, we can say that our key resistance level will be between around 94 all the way towards 100 rupees. So we are not far away from it. We are very close by. We had a bit of a sell off towards the end of this month, mostly because of the market, but overall we can see that prices are somewhat moving closer towards a key resistance level. Now to measure a price target, obviously what we do is we take the height of the pattern. So we can see a very nice rounded base, or we can call it a rounded bottom, and we can see that prices have almost we are getting close to the resistance level. To measure price target, we pretty much take the height of the pattern. So let's not take exactly 100, let's take around 95 rupees, and then let's take the lowest point over there, which is roughly around let's just say 25. So that's roughly 70 points, which is the height of the pattern. So assuming that we break out above 95 and we add 75 points to it, then we get a price target of roughly around 165 rupees. So you can also see that if you look at price target here, if you have been watching my videos, but something that I've always said is I like it when my price targets correspond towards longer term resistance levels. So over here we can see that this 165 level is a point of supply where you can expect sellers to come in at. So let's quickly note it down here. PT equals 165. However, obviously this is not the only point of resistance on the chart. So if you look at the overall chart, you can clearly see that there's more stronger resistance around this 137 level, which is a much more stronger level than 165. So you can note this down as well. You can put it as R 135 rupees. So clearly we have multiple levels of supply on the chart. Also this level right here, which is roughly around 110, is also a key resistance level to break for the buyers. So let's note that down as well. So R 110. So we have already highlighted the overall pattern on the chart, which is a nice rounded bottom, and we are yet to see a breakout. So always remember that until we see a breakout, we cannot confirm the pattern. So until that, how we confirm a breakout is if prices close above this resistance level, and also provided we see some heavy volume on the monthly chart. So ideally you're looking at roughly let's say, what's the highest volume traded over here? So that's around 9.6 million. So say that we get around 9 to 10 million volume on the monthly chart on a breakout, then you can say that we have a valid breakout on the monthly chart. So therefore this pattern is not confirmed. Also always remember that getting in too early can also cost you. So always have an overall view of how the overall market is performing, because some of these stocks might be sensitive to the market as well. So always keep that in mind. As of now we don't have a breakout, but provided we see a valid breakout, we have a price target of roughly 165 rupees. So if you look at it as a percentage gain, you're roughly looking for prices double in price from current market prices. So roughly around 100% gain from current market prices. Also Spence is something that's fundamentally good from what I know. So also, so you can see that the fundamentals are also aligning with the price action, which is something that you would like to see. So overall this is one of my favorite picks for the medium term. Obviously not investment advice, so obviously make your own choices on what you want to trade. I'm just helping you out filter out certain stocks which might be good over the medium term. It's perfectly and completely up to you to decide on where you want to put your money into. So that's it on Spence. Let's quickly move into VPEL. So VPEL is pretty much very much the same thing as the other two stocks that we are going to look at. So overall VPEL has a much more larger consolidation phase, which is much more clear as well. So you can see that the consolidation phase, or the base that we have here, is happening through a more rectangular phase. So a base can be anything on the chart. It can be a certain pattern like a cup and handle, a cup without a handle like what we saw as a rounded base, or a rectangular shaped consolidation phase, or even a triangle, symmetrical triangle, anything. So a base is a period of consolidation. So what you would want to see is, like I said, the best percentage gainers are the ones that have been consolidating for a very long time. So as of now you can clearly see that despite VPEL moving from roughly around 4.8 all the way towards 960 rupees, you can clearly see that we still have a lot more room to run if we do see a breakout above this 950 to 10 level. So as of now you can see that we are still inside this 10-year consolidation phase. We are seeing volume coming in, however we are yet to see confirmation through a breakout. So in that sense we still don't have confirmation of the pattern, but what we know is that if we are to see a breakout, we might see a very strong move in VPEL over the short term. So how do we see if prices are to move? So if prices, like I said, break out above this 950, 10, ideally above 10 rupees, and close above 10 rupees on the monthly chart with ideally above average volume. So you would want to see a nice high volume bar on the monthly chart, which will distinguish itself from the rest of the volume bars on this chart, where you can clearly see a proper volume bar. Then you can assume that there is possibly a valid breakout on the chart. Now why I say assume is because there are times when chart patterns do fail, so obviously you need to have your stop levels. But that being aside, assuming that we have a valid breakout, what we can expect is a move above this resistance level, taking the height of this pattern. So we take the highest point and the lowest point of this base, and then we add it to the breakout point, and we roughly get a price target of around 1450 to 15 rupees. Now actually we get a price target of 15. The reason why I put 14 here, 1450 here, is because it corresponds to its prior all-time highs. So overall, what we are seeing is at least around more than a 50% gain from current market prices if prices are to go towards the 1450 to 15 level. So like I said, you will see a very strong impulsive move on VPEL if prices are to break out. So it won't take another 10 years for prices to go to 1450, 15 rupees. Very simply, if we do see a very strong breakout, you can expect prices to reach this target in a few months. So roughly you're looking at a possible 50% gain over here, assuming that we do have a valid breakout on the chart. So that's about it on VPEL. Let's quickly move into AHUN to wrap things up. So again, AHUN is pretty much having a very similar sort of formation compared to Spence. It's natural because usually the ones owned by the same sort of company is going to have the same sort of patterns and price action in it as well. So as of now, we can clearly see that we do have a strong resistance level around these levels over here. So you can see that prices did test this level over here. Then we saw a breakout and a bit of consolidation on this range. We saw a bit of a pullback over here. We saw a bit of a pullback over here. And we can see prices bouncing, and then eventually prices stalled after prices broke below this support level. And then we can clearly see the prices are again stalling at this level for now. So we are very close to the resistance level. So pretty much the resistance level would roughly be around 48 rupees to 52 rupees. So let's just put it out. Key resistance is around 48 to 52 rupees. So that is the level of interest for the buyers to watch for over the medium term. So again, we see a very similar formation over here as well. We see a nice rounded base over here. And what we're looking for as of now is confirmation through price and volume. First, we need to see a close above our resistance level, ideally above 52 rupees. And also we need to see volume back it up. Pretty much what we're looking at is a high volume bar, which pretty much stands out from the rest of the volume bars that we have seen so far. So ideally anything around 3 million plus on a monthly basis would possibly warrant for a valid breakout, provided that we see prices also close above the resistance level. So as of now, we can see that we have a nice formation over here, which can potentially lead us to a nice percentage gain over the medium term. So let's quickly look at some further resistance level. We have one which is very strong, roughly at around 63.50 ish. And then also again we have more stronger resistance around this 87 to around 90 rupees, that range as well. So 87 to 90 rupees. So overall, let's quickly look at our price target. Again, we take the height of the pattern. So pretty much assuming that we take it from 50 rupees and then we measure it down towards this low, which is at 12. So that's a height of 38 rupees. So we add it over here and we get a price target that corresponds roughly towards this range of 87 to 90. Again, we have a price target that corresponds towards a longer term resistance level, which is something that I like. So overall, what you can expect is if prices are to break out, we can see a quick rally towards 63.50 where it would potentially find a lot of sellers. Provided that we can break through this barrier, then we can with a good probability expect prices to move towards this 87 to 90 level over the medium term. So overall, all the three stocks that we looked at have had longer term consolidation phases. Most of these above 5 years. VPL had roughly around 10 years, the other two had 5 years. So those are very long bases. So what you can expect is if we do see a breakout, we can see an impulsive move over the medium term. So again, just like Spence, you can roughly see that from current market prices, our price target gives us roughly around 100% gain if we do see a move towards our price target. So let's quickly summarize everything up. The price targets and the potential gains on AHUN and SPEN is roughly around 100%, and VPEL is roughly around 50%. So all of them are big potential gainers over the medium term, provided that we see the stocks sink in with the market as well, and the market also helps the stocks move higher, and also we see value breakout. So the most important thing as of now to know is that we do not have confirmation. Once we get confirmation, then most likely we might see some very strong moves over the short term on all of these three stocks. So I hope that you guys enjoyed the video. I think this is a better way of doing videos, highlighting not just randomly highlighting stocks, but highlighting stocks that are yet to move and have future potential. So I hope that you guys enjoyed the video. Obviously, if it's helpful, make sure to leave a like, subscribe, and post your thoughts in the comment section. And let me know what other sort of videos you want me to do, and I'll be happy to see whether I can do those videos as well. So thank you guys, thank you for watching, and hope you guys have a really good rest of your day. Thanks guys, see you soon.